This is JordanTower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. Well, 50 Cent shouts out Gene Deal because Gene Deal kind of breaks some things down and gets some clarity of some things that happened in the past and Gene Deal has a lot of credibility. If I were to, it's funny, man. I could say something and, it's like, whatever. I was in the music business for a long time, right? But Gene Deal was a bodyguard, right? And he dealt with a lot of, he was around way before, he's a lot older than me, but he, he bodyguarded for Puff. He knew Wolf. He was there when Biggie died. I mean, I think he was there the whole time Puff was doing stuff, right? So he dealt with this guy named Chaz. Chaz Williams. He was a gangster in New York and started a label called Blackhand. And 50 Cent dealt with Chaz a lot, right? And Chaz kind of I don't know if Chaz was managing him, because I know 50 wasn't on Blackhand, but I think he was managing him. And Gene Deal breaks down why 50 Cent hates Irv Gotti so much. I can't believe people don't get this. If somebody tried to kill you, would you hate them forever? I mean, they're almost successful. Right? So there was a lot of problems between 50 Cent and Ja Rule. There's this whole thing about a chain getting took. It was 50's man or something like that. And, Ja Rule blamed them. And then, Irv Gotti and Ja Rule, they didn't want someone else coming out of the Jamaica Queens and stepping on, for some reason, them. They felt threatened by 50. Also, Supreme was in some weird competition with 50. And they're both from Jamaica, and he was backing Irv Gotti and them, so he would kind of placate Irv Gotti by 50, chill out. Da, 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 da. It's a whole big thing of little micro aggressions forming in one, and eventually it came to a head where 50 Cent and Ja Rule were supposed to meet up in Atlanta or somewhere, and a fight broke out, right? And then there was supposed to be something in Vegas that Gene Deal was talking about where 50 opted to not go because Irv and them were setting something up there. Anyways, Chaz from Blackhand, my point is that there was tension. Okay, we don't have to break into the exact. I'm not going to break down the exact timeline of this beef. What happened is the aggression came to a head where it was 50 Cent and Irv and Ja just didn't get along, right? And Chaz from Blackhand, who had signed Graf and a couple other artists, he was trying to mediate the situation for 50, and people had so much respect for Chaz as the point that they listened to him. So Irv and them were willing to go through Chaz to mediate everything, but 50 really didn't like Ja Rule and Irv Gotti because they were trying to stop him in the music business, right? And it was hard to tell 50 what to do, but he did respect Chaz, right? So after the fight and stuff, Chaz was going to try to do a sit down with Irv and Ja and 50 to squash everything. And he tried to squash it, but he wasn't able to. And Gene was involved with this because he was in touch with, Chaz and 50 throughout the whole thing. And, Gene always had, he would make sure 50's good if they were in the same place together and everything. That he had a relationship with 50 and Chaz. So I guess right before they were supposed to have this sit down, Irv and Ja Rule caught 50 in the studio, Midtown, stabbed him up. And then they came out with this fake paperwork saying that he told on them and had a protective custody, protective order, right? But he never took the stand or anything, and there was no real paperwork on that. What it was the engineer and their lawyer throwing 50's name in it. But 50 never wrote a order of protection. That's been proven wrong for a long time, and people just don't, for some reason, they don't want to believe that because they hate 50 Cent so much. But Irv and John went up to Star and Buck Wild show and like showed it. Nobody cared because and then also it was fake. It was proven to be fake. They actually doctored a order of protection order. They went another step, and that's where the precinct didn't exist. It was all this other stuff. So Gene Deal was just setting the record straight that, like, eventually, let's see what happened. So then after the incident, I guess Irv and Ja were going to pay $250,000 through Chaz. You know, Chaz is probably going to get some money out of that too, right? And 50 Cent opted to not show up to this meeting because he was like, you guys just try to poke me up. I'm not showing up for, to squash this, And the whole reason they didn't take things to another level was because of Chaz, but they decided, we're not going to pay 50. We don't even want to pay $250,000. That's what Chaz, it's cheaper to take him out. So they paid someone $25,000. To take 50 out. And Gene said it was more Irv Gotti in them than it was Supreme. It was more about Irv Gotti in them. Supreme and 50 had their own issues, Irv and Ja, they really tried to take 50 out by putting some money on his head. It's a lot cheaper to pay $25,000 than $250,000. And that's that. That's the real beef. That's why 50 and Gene Deal said he was one of the only people to talk to 50 before he went silent after getting shot. He checked to make sure he was cool. He was, and he says, he was there if 50 ever needed anything. And Gene Deal is pretty credible, man. So you gotta say that. So he's the one who started this whole Puffy thing, to be honest with you. He started the takedown of 50 Cent. Anyways, man, 50 said Gene be telling the truth. He posted that up today, right here. He said Gene be out here telling the truth. I mean, he did about Puff too. Just seen Gene be telling the truth. These other guys be capping. It's true. And a lot of people in the comments, they just hate 50 Cent. They run in the comments. I see you guys running in there. Oh, you glazing 50 Cent. What? Telling the truth is glazing? I love the environment out here now. Telling the truth is now glazing. No. I'm setting the record straight on a lot of stuff. You guys let a lot of people get away with things like Rick Ross, Jim Jones. These are the people that just run their mouth and they try to change a narrative. When no, this is the real narrative, If Diddy was out here still, he'd be trying to change the narrative himself. That's just how people like that move. The real ones, the people that are just living their truth, always get the most hate. It's just how it is. People can't stand it. Can't stand you. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you all. I'll check you guys in the next one. Smash that like button for me. Peace.